of England, and of course it ended on penalties. We bring you a sense of that game right here on Green at 95.9 megahertz, as we do every time and every now and then. This show is divided into two parts. The first part is the by way of updates, keeping you up to date on the fixtures that made the headlines over the week, including top transfer stories. Then we'll include the local stories that made the headlines as well. Then segment two is my very, very favorite segment that is called okay. The States, and they are out. That is United States out on penalties 5-4. So Megan Rapinoe and Morgan are all out of the United States squad at the starts now. Also, this morning I happened to watch the game between England and against Nigeria, where England won on penalties 4-2 and 0-0 after regulation time. And also later today was Australia against Denmark. Australia also winning against Denmark. So the host nation pretty much doing well in the other games. Tomorrow at exactly 8 p.m., Colombia will be facing off. Tomorrow at exactly 8 p.m., we are going to have a game between Colombia against Jamaica. So 8 p.m. and at exactly 11, France will be playing Morocco at 11 a.m. So the quarterfinal is already set on Friday. Spain plays with Netherlands, one of the crucial games, 1 a.m. So 1 a.m. you have to wake up around Friday, 1 a.m. to watch Spain against Netherlands. Also, Japan against Sweden, 7:30 a.m. on Friday. That's another game to look out for. Australia is waiting for its participant, and of course, England against the participant as well. So that's what we have so far in the FIFA Women's World Cup happening in Australia. It was. And of course, it was played between Manchester City, the current league holders. Of course, they played against um, Arsenal, and that game ended 0-0, ended 1-1, and went to penalties. And so, we'll bring you excerpts of that encounter right here on Green at 95.9 megahertz. This is what transpired in that particular game.
Still going shots. Morgan receiving cut inside and fire into the corner with his left foot. Saka could be in here inside the penalty area. Puts it back on that. Terrific save, Ortega. Got on with that one. Close in. Ortega makes the stop. Strikes Partey, gets in the way on the halfway line. Rodri will try again. Rodri from downtown. Oh my word, nearly catches Ramsdale. Something special. Would have delivered. Haaland is there, and the header was in Rodri. Terrific save. He's going to get another goal. Foden away from Partey brilliantly. In the midfielder coming forwards. It's a deflection that Tierney deals with, but not completely. Palmer opens up. Oh, that's a wonderful goal. It really is from Cole Palmer. Stepped inside and caressed the ball into the top corner. This is Alvarez has got Foden to his left. It's still Alvarez, and Foden to take the touch off. Ramsdale to the rescue on this occasion, though. Winner to the near post. Terrific save. Rodri's lightning. Brilliant winner to Ramsdale. And it comes. Got it away by Rodri, who's been immense for Manchester City. As with Trossard, it's on his left side. To force penalties at Wembley for the Community Shield 2023. Not this club, not this team, not these supporters. Fight right until the end.
And so that's what happened at committee in the committee shield game that happened at Wembley, right here on Green at 95.9 megahertz. So, and the details of that game has been played for you. Manchester City losing to Arsenal by 4 goals to 1 on penalties. And the regulation time, it was 1-1 Arsenal against Manchester City. Now let's turn our attention to some other news making headlines right here on Green at 95.9 megahertz. We start with some transfer stories. Andres Iniesta is reported to sign for Emirates Club FC on a 1-year contract with an option for a second. That is what Fabrizio Romano is reporting at the moment. We are picking a couple of other stories, but let me take you straight to PSG. And we can report that Mbappe has been omitted from PSG first team training. And France captain Kylian Mbappe has been omitted from PSG's first team training session as preparations intensify for League One season kickoff. Mbappe's situation has been embroiled in a contract standoff with PSG, and as he expresses his desire to join Real Madrid as PSG's all-time leading top scorer, Mbappe is declining to extend his contract by an additional year, which is set to conclude next summer. And this stance has prompted PSG to seek a sale of the French forward now, aiming to secure a transfer rather than the risk of losing him on a free fee. Consequently, Mbappe was excluded from PSG's preseason tour to Asia. Additionally, he declined to engage with the representatives from Al Hilal, who represented a record-breaking offer to him to the Saudi Pro League. PSG will commence their French league title defense against Lorient at home on Saturday. It's understood that Mbappe will participate in training with the Loft Group, a departure from the A Group, consisting of players potentially featuring in the first team. Efforts to resolve the situation have included PSG's offer of a guaranteed sale clause in Mbappe's contract for the end of the season. However, this proposal was ultimately turned down. So the braille between Mbappe and PSG continues unabated. Now to some other stories under the sidelines of what happened in the game between Nigerian women's team and the Three Lioness of England. They suffered a heartbreaking defeat, but of course, on the sidelines was what happened between James, that is a sister of Rich James, who was sent off after stamping on Michelle Alozi in that particular encounter. So social media has gone ablaze with images of Lauren James stepping of Michelle Alozi. And of course, that attracted a red card. That was not still enough to guarantee the qualification of Nigeria into the next round. And so that's one thing we can report so far. Also, to some NBA stories before we continue. Some football. Anthony Davis has signed a 3-year deal worth 186 million contract extension with LA Lakers. That's one thing we can report at the moment. The Los Angeles Lakers forward Anthony Davis has agreed on a 3-year deal worth 186 million contract maximum extension, tying him to the franchise throughout 2028 for a total of 270 million. A Clash Sports CEO Rich Paul told ESPN on Friday. Davis deal is the richest annual contract extension in NBA history, averaging $62 million a season. Davis, who had 2 years at 84 million left on his contract, become eligible to sign for a 3-year extension on Friday. And Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka and Paul moved quickly to complete the deal. Along with LeBron James, Davis remains a cornerstone of the team that advanced the Western Conference Finals a season ago. He averaged 26 points, 12.5 points, and of course 2 blocks, shooting career high of 56% last season. And Davis, a 4-time All-NBA first team player, has averaged 25 points and 2 blocks in the 5 seasons and 5 times this season. The third highest total behind only the person we know to be Shaquille O'Neal and Karim Abdul-Jabbar, according to ESPN stats and information research. So, of course, he has made some money. So, to those talking about football, this Anthony Davis making $186 million contract extension with the LA Lakers. Now to some other stories making the headlines right here on Green 95.9 megahertz. And it's breaking news that we are hearing that West Ham have made an improvement of £60 million package to have both Maguire and McTominay. So now they're adding 2 players with 60 million. After signing Edison Alvarez, West Ham will insist for Manchester United deal to advance the talks on at the moment. So that's one thing we can also report to you at the moment. Also, Zion Suzuki didn't formally reject Manchester United. That's what we are actually hearing. He appreciated the chance, but now prefers a move to a Belgian side, Sint-Truiden, over being a backup option as well. Now, to some other stories, we can confirm the official signing of Jan Sommer to Inter Milan. Jan Sommer, you recall, plays for Bayern Munich. And of course, he has signed for Inter Milan until June 2026 and has had the deal signed and sealed. Next one is Lazar Samasic later this week as well. So Inter Milan are doing some signing. As I said earlier on, we had Andres Iniesta signing for Emirates Club FC from Ras Al Khaimah. Al Khaimah. Iniesta will arrive in Dubai on Tuesday, that's tomorrow, and sign a contract until June 2024 with an option to extend until 2025. And so no Inter Miami for Don Andres Iniesta. His love story continues at the Emirati world, that is the United Arab Emirates. Also, Gonzalo Ramos has completed the main part of his medical test as a PSG player. An official announcement is later to be made this week. Here we go. Also, we understand that Roma will receive a 28.5 million euros fixed fee plus 3 million euros add-ons for Ruga Ibanez. The deal will also include a sell-on clause. Ibanez is on his way to a medical test and he will sign off until June 2027, not 3, but for a 4-year deal. So that is what we can confirm. Roma receiving an offer to sign, that is Gonzalo, that Ibanez, Roger Ibanez. And Chelsea and Brighton are back to direct talks as expected for Moises Caicedo. And the deal didn't play on Sunday as clear indication that he wants to leave. So Moises Caicedo didn't play in Brighton's game. That was played on Sunday. He has made all indication that he wants to leave the club. Hopefully, they will allow him to go. And also, Inter Milan are closing in on signing Amel Adero and as a backup goalkeeper. And they are saying that we are close. The players' agent Tinti has confirmed Sommer will be the first keeper, Odero will be the second keeper, and Tribune will also join Benfica. That's one thing we can also confirm. As I said earlier, West Ham and Manchester United are in direct talks, especially for the signing of Harry Maguire. We understand that McTominay has also been added to the deal worth £60 million. The coming days, United may have to accept or reject the offer. And Napoli also have submitted a bid of 30 million formal bid for Spanish gem Gabri Veiga, and Celta de Vigo have rejected the proposal that was received today. The release clause was worth £40 million valid into the contract. Many clubs remain interested in signing Gabriel Veiga, and Napoli remain busy with Zelensky of Al Ahly looking at the possible deal with Al Ahly. So another thing that you can confirm at the moment right here. Also, Benfica are set to sign Arthur Gabriel on a 25 million deal package. Fiorentina will receive an amount of £20 million and 5 million add-ons. Arthur Gabriel assigns until 2028 with the medical expected to be done this week. Also, we are hearing that Neymar has also tendered in the transfer request. And what we are hearing is that he's being linked to FC Barcelona, the very broke FC Barcelona, in the news again. Would there be a possible return of Neymar? And also, we're also hearing that our old Mohamed Kudus has been granted some days off to finish off his deal with Brighton in the next 2 days. So Brighton has been instructed by their prospective clients, that is Ajax, to finalize the deal of Mohamed Kudus in the coming days as expected. And David Osteen has also been talking. Tottenham have rejected buying his £100 million package bid for Harry Kane, and as called by David Osteen, Daniel Levy said no to the German club proposal. Buying will discuss internally on how to proceed after proposal was tendered. Meeting will also take place soon. So interesting. That was 6 hours ago, and Tottenham has rejected the bid from Bayern Munich, £100 million. Interesting. So to some other stories making the headlines right here on Green and 95.9 megahertz. In case you're student, this is a sports flash show with Nana J. Donfe. Up next, we're going to have the second segment, but as we keep you updated, let's remind you that our socials are active on Twitter or the X platform. Our handle is at Greener959 and Facebook is Greener95.9. On WhatsApp, our number is 020 3000 959. 020 3000 You can send us an SMS or a WhatsApp message, or alternatively, you can reach us on 054 2873 899 on WhatsApp, and of course SMS, and we'll gladly read it out loud. Let's continue some updates making the headlines right here on Green at 95.9 megahertz. Now let's continue the updates. And Arsenal midfielder Jorginho, who is 31 years, is interested. Arsenal midfielder Jorginho, 31, is interesting. That's Turkish side from Abechi. Amid reports that the Italian is unsettled in North London. So, interesting days ahead. Interesting days ahead. And also, the 3rd of September could be a crucial date for Kylian Mbappe and PSG. If Mbappe does not leave the club at the transfer window, then they will have to bring Mbappe back to their main training session or face union action. That's one thing. And also report Javier Mascherano has been speaking on Lionel Andres Messi's team, and he says that after the World Cup with Argentina, Messi settled any debate over the greatest player. Messi is the greatest player I have ever seen. So that is what Javier Mascherano has also been saying. Also, Manchester United had contact to be informed on the conditions of Jean-Claire Todibo deal, and no bid or talks have been as discussed at this stage, as the option could only be activated if Harry Maguire leaves. So, if Harry Maguire leaves, then Jean-Claire Todibo, formerly of FC Barcelona, will be able to leave Juventus and join Manchester United. Also, Frank Kessie is in Paris on a go medical as a new Al Ahly player. The deal will be announced as soon as the contracts are ready. Barcelona will get a region of around £50 million for Frank Kessie. And also, Madrid's 558 million of net worth and healthy finances mean Florentino Perez, a team, could undertake yet another large scale transfer around £200 million. So Madrid made a lot of wins and a lot of profit over the last season. £558 million net of worth and healthy finances, and of course, they have available to them £200 million, and possibly they could bid for Mbappe, or possibly wait in the next one season so that they can get him on a free agency. Interesting days ahead. Roy Keane has also been speaking on Declan Rice, and he says he's obviously going to be surrounded by better players from different demands. If he's going to play any little higher up the pitch, I think he definitely has that quality in terms of adding more goals. So that is what he has been saying. Also, Victor Varacella has also been speaking to the Gazzetta. He says, I like simplicity and his humbleness. He is a champion of the pitch, and when he's on the pitch, I expect him a lot. He made me happy with that gesture. I wish him the best he could, and he truly deserves it. So that's what Victor Caracella has been talking to the Gazzetta. That's the report strictly in as well. Al Hilal are in talks to try to sign Joao Felix from Atletico Madrid. If offered him a salary of £40 million per year, or euros per year. And also PSG have hope that the atmosphere at Ligue 1 game this weekend will not be so much charged, as the Ultras will make Mbappe change his mind. So PSG Ultras are at it again. So this and many other more as we have it on right on Green 95.9 megahertz. Some other signings before we go to local stories. Benfica have agreed to sign Anatoly Trubin from Shakhtar Donetsk on an £11 million deal. Agreement has a fixed fee of £10 million and 1 million add-ons. And so that's one story we can also report to you as well right here on Green 95.9 megahertz. Now to some other stories in the local segment. Let's go to some local segments. News making. I mean, of course, let's talk about Patty. Patty has shared his joy after winning the Community Shield, and that is what has happened. He has actually reported in a tweet, of course, in a post on Facebook. Black Stars midfielder Thomas Partey has expressed his excitement after winning his first trophy with Arsenal on Sunday, as the Gunners rallied to defeat Manchester City in the FA Cup, in the FA Community Shield on penalties. The versatile midfielder put up an excellent display. Despite the scoreless first half, the managers of both teams showed tactical acumen, which paid off with goals for their respective teams. De Bruyne came off the bench to assist Cole Palmer, another substitute, to score the goal for Manchester City. Arsenal also responded late with an equalizer in injury time from Leandro Trossard, who also was subbed on by Arteta in the second half. The game traveled to a shootout that ended 1-1 after 90 minutes, and which Arsenal won 4-1 on penalties due to misses from KDB and of course Rodri, and of course the Citizens the title. Party once again demonstrated its importance to Arteta's team by playing the entire match despite receiving a head injury late in the game that required the medical staff to bandage it for him to continue. And also talking to us on Instagram, of course, talking to his Instagram, Party wrote, proud to be part of this amazing team. Big thanks to everyone supporting us. Party, who was earlier linked to move away from the North London side, may continue with the club as the new Premier League season approaches. Declan Rice, who has been presumed as his competitor, started alongside with him as a dual performance and the praises from football fans around the world of football. So that's one news that we can also report. Now let's go to some other stories. As I said, Ajax has issued a 48-hour ultimatum to Brighton to get Kudus deal done. Ajax Amsterdam has issued a 2-day ultimatum to Brighton and Hove Albion to wrap up a deal that sends Mohamed Kudus to the English Premier League side, according to journalist Tim Van Dusen, who writes for the Dutch football magazine Voetbal International. The Dutch club wants the deal done and completed in 48 hours, or to be called off per Voetbal International. The Ghanaian star would then be only available when the super offer comes from the interested club. Brighton and Ajax have agreed a deal in principle of 40 million euros to move the former FC New Zealand player to the Seagulls this past weekend. But with the latest development, could see the deal fall off because 48 hours has been given. Kudus has caught the eye of several top teams in Europe after a breakout session in the 2022-2023 campaign, where he scored 18 goals and even added 7 assists in 42 games in all competitions. And memorable among these was his excellent strike against Liverpool in the Champions League. Now to some other stories as well. Afia Bani is in the news. He inspired the side FC Zurich by scoring a brace in a convincing league victory. Finally, Barnier is in the news. Ghanaian striker Daniel Afia Barnier stole the spotlight on Saturday as he scored his first competitive goals for FC Zurich, propelling his team to a resounding 3-0 victory over Lugano in the Swiss Super League. Barnier's electrifying performance at the Les Grimes Stadium saw him netting a brace in the 68th and the 76th minute, setting the stage for a comfortable win. The momentum was sealed when the Congolese winger Jonathan Okita secured the victory with a third goal, capping off a memorable outing at FC Zurich. The goals were Ghanaians' first since ever joining FC Zurich in the January 2023 transfer. He struggled in his first season, in part because he arrived in the middle of the season. He spent the majority of his time with the reserve team where he feels impressed. But this season has been a different story. He has scored a couple of goals in preseason and has carried that form into the season. And the 22-year-old forward has already left a mark in the ongoing season, having featured in all 4 games and netting 2 crucial goals. The resurgence of his performance serves as a testament of his hard work, dedication, and unwavering commitment to his team's success. So we are wishing Afia Barnier the best as well. Now, some other stories in the ladies division. Doris Boduwa has left Hazagas Ladies to join the Serbian club ZFK Spartak. That's another news we can report to you on our sports. The Ghanaian striker Doris Boduwa has left Hazagas Ladies Football Club to join Serbian side ZFK Spartak after a successful run with the Hasmal Ladies. 20 years old Boduwa ends a 4-year run with Hazagas after joining the team in 2019 and played a key role in fortifying the team's dominance on the Ghanaian women's scene. And she joins the likes of Evelyn Badu, who departed the club after starring in the 2021 CAF Women's Champions League, where Hazagas finished second behind Sundowns, and Ombabu Badu also moved to Norwegian side Avadis in this year. Her brilliant performance in the Champions League had her nominated in the Young Player and Overall Player of the Year categories, respectively, in the 2022 CAF Awards. Boduwa scored 35 goals and added 23 assists in 58 games in all competitions for Hazagas Ladies, whilst winning the Women's League title, the First Ladies Cup, and the Women's Super Cup. She featured in the Black Queens 4-0 win over Benin and gave Ghana a 7-0 win aggregate in progression to the second round of qualification in the 2024 Paris Olympics. So, Doris Boduwa, we wish you so much well as you play your plights for ZFK Spartak as well. Now to some also other stories. Kwesi Appiah-Mayele has been speaking, and he has called. Kwesi Appiah has been speaking. He has called for patience for Prosper Ogumasi returns as the coach for Kotoko. So former Black Stars coach and member of the Kumasi Asante Kotoko interim management committee, Kwesi Appiah, has urged fans to exercise patience with the newly unveiled coach Prosper Nante Ogum. On Monday, Ogum was officially introduced, confirming his return to the club. Ogum's return to Kotoko comes a year after he left the club after winning the Ghana Premier League. Speaking about the team's aspirations, Kwesi Appiah emphasized the IMC's focus on building a strong squad. He also encouraged fans not to pressure the coach into immediate trophy wins, considering the transition happening within the team. He's noted as saying that the intention of the IMC is to build a formidable team. We should not put pressure on the coach to win trophies. And looking at those going and coming, it will take time to get the best out of the team. Kwesi Appiah stated, he added that the intention is for the team to be very competitive in the second year. Ogum will now concentrate on preparing the team for the upcoming season with new players expected to join and those who are not in his plans. In September, Kotoko will kick off their season campaign at home against Accra House of Lions from Bandu. Interesting story that I have for you. So this is Greener 95.9 megahertz, and this will bring the stories to an end. Up next, we have the most delightful and, of course, thought-provoking segment. It is that the in-depth analysis segment. I have with me Papa J, and of course Cross. This program is streaming live on Cross Sports GH on YouTube. Cross Sports GH on YouTube. You can join us. So if you want to watch us live in studio today, it's on Cross Sports GH on YouTube. I have Cross with me, of course, doing the pleasantries and doing everything possible to make sure that we are live and clear. And also, Papa J will also be joining us very, very soon. This is Greener 95.9 megahertz. Up next is the discussion segment. As I said, get in touch with us on number 054-2873-899, 054-2873-899, and 020-3000-959. Thank you. Charlie, yeah, what's wrong?